What's up everybody, Miguel of Go Figure Go here, and I'm going to show you today on how I manage making diorama accessories for action figure photographers in a New York City apartment that has only 1,000 square feet. So let's get into it. So a lot of you guys know me from my 3D prints. In fact, if you've seen a milk crate in the past 1 to 2 years, those are more than likely my milk crates. And they are everywhere, which was amazing. Thank you, Milk Crate Challenge. So, how do I do those? I'm glad you've asked. Let's check out the printers. So a lot of you guys in the Illigo community and the resin printing community are probably wondering why I don't have the cases on. That's fine, because the case is only to prevent UV light. Some say it helps prevent the smell from leaking out of the printer. But while that might be some of the case because resin smells, it actually doesn't. The ventilation comes out of the back of these machines and it is encased. So if anything, it helps funnel the smell out. But that's okay, because me, with what I've done is I have this would probably count as 5 filters, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 filtration devices inside of this cabinet. Also, what I did was create a seal. So this is a seal here, which is not, it's white and matches, but the seal is actually what helps prevent the smell as well from traveling around my home. Also the filtration devices and the fans that go through filters to get rid of the smell. Alright, so we're now back at the first cabinet. So what are the first things that you're going to need when resin printing is a UV chamber? And inside this cabinet I built my own custom UV chamber. So let's check it out. So you're probably wondering how I get the paint applied to my 3D prints. And this is the part of the video where I'm going to show you that. Behind me, like all of my cabinets, if you notice so far, are exactly the same. This way you can keep your home aesthetic looking nice. You don't want everything everywhere and looking all kinds of crazy. So let's open it up. Now you can tell that makes a lot of noise. This is my extractor for paint fumes. I use spray paints, I use regular paints. This yellow device here is an alcohol bath for curing my resin prints. So this is the setup that I have built for that. This is the work that I still have to complete in this bin. The other bin is markers, X-Acto knives, brushes, paint, blades, and other props below. The compressor is at the bottom. This goes from the back, more filtration, like triple filtration, and it goes right by the window so we can get rid of that smell. Occasionally, if I'm doing a lot of spray paint, I have a window fan, and I'll put that in there as well and extend the hose directly into the window fan so it goes out of my breathing space, which is important. You only have the lungs that you're born with for right now. So my paints, my primers, my, one of the good things to pick up is just get some nail polish remover. You'll be okay. So with that being said, let's move on to the next segment, shall we? So now we're on to dioramas and stuff like that. Now, predominantly I use 1.5 inch pink foam, and I keep it stored right near me, so I can always use it. I get the huge thing and then I pre-cut all of it and keep it right here as well as right here on the bottom. Other things that I have in this cabinet that are very, very useful is something that I made up to keep my brushes clean. This is IPA alcohol, and the brushes that I use the most often I leave inside of this little doohickey, and all I did was really put the lid on, made a couple of screw holes, put them in there, and now they are safe and secure from falling over or smelling. One of the big things you want to keep around for yourself is some Mod Podge. This helps seal up your diorama because eventually what will happen is your paint will stick to your figures. Your feet or anything else like that end up ruining a good figure. Also, what I would like to say is they sell amazing rollers for diorama painting. So you can get very small rollers for your dioramas. They are easy to clean, reusable if you clean them the right way, and they make for a very good paint job free of paint streaks. So if you can, go and grab yourself some rollers from Home Depot. These are better 3/8, 4 inches. So they're really, really good. They get the job done and makes everything just that much more productive. And that's it for that cabinet. So you'll notice that we haven't moved from our current location because what I have to show you now is actually my 20-watt laser cutter / engraver. This is a 20-watt by Fox Alien. Very good. It does very good specific jobs and works very nicely. So that's from Fox Alien. Their laser cutter called the Riser. This is another laser cutter I have, the beautiful X tool. This machine is an incredibly built machine, feels solid, and does wonderful work. So, if you want one, I encourage you to get one. Learn all about it. YouTube community is a wonderful place to learn about the X tool, as well as some of the diorama creators and designers you may know. I'd love to give a huge shout out right now to High School Creations, who has video chat with me all about the software that's used for this machine called Lightburn. Lightburn is also an amazing, easy tool to use for your X tool or laser engraver. So some of the other tools you may want to invest in is the following, or are the following. This is a Dremel with a plunger router setting. Now, why that is such a good tool to have is because if you draw on a piece of foam or anything like that, this device will save the time and route out everything from your design. And then you'll be done quicker, faster, and probably happier with your diorama. One of the tools that I don't see enough people having is or are T-squares and triangle squares. A lot of diorama makers will tell you, if you can't draw a straight line, don't get into it. There are tools so you can draw a straight line. In fact, you're talking to somebody with one of the biggest tools. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a Proxicon foam cutter. It's a great little tool, and I say it's a great little tool. Look at the size of the bed. It's not very big at all. And it'll cut your foam. So what'll happen occasionally is if you have a dull knife, I will pick out a piece where my blade kind of went dull, just to show you what I'm talking about. The knife has made some cuts jagged. This is a hot wire. We'll smooth it out. But with that being said, it does have its limitations. Everything has its limitations. But if you can find a good use for it, you're a step above everyone else. Additionally, you should also get yourself some good magnets and a hot glue gun. So you can use your router to put the magnets in, hot glue them in there, and if you do it the right way, you can put it so your magnets are invisible and in back of the front of the diorama, which is a great thing to do. As some of you know, I do the action figure photography thing, and as well, I do a show on YouTube called 30 and Go, where we ask artist diorama makers about 30 questions, and then they get to go. This way it's fun. But a few people have asked me, how do I get my lighting the way it is? Aside from the store light right here, Milner in the wall, I operate Philips Hue. Philips Hue is great. It's automatic. It works with Alexa. Check this out. Hey Alexa, turn on the Go Zone. And that's how I do it. With the action figure photography, I like to shoot inside of a box. And this is the box that I shoot in. This is a light box, and it helps me control all the aspects of my lighting, my fogging if I'm using fogging. Let's check it out. And look at that. We've already got something set up. Let's take a closer look. This is actually one of the first diorama walls that I made, brick wall wise, and one of the first floors that I made to kind of look like concrete and asphalt. Here we have, in this little diorama here, we've got all the props that I make except for the fire there as well. Shitty old school trash can, trash bags, fire hydrant, milk crates, and introducing the Sup Pidge Tech 63 with zero productivity from Quicks. This is actually a gift given to me by Zero Productivity, an amazing artist from New York. And there he sits, just chilling. I did this diorama with these 3D prints. The door is a 3D printed door. Again, I used that plunger that I was discussing earlier. The plunger helped me set this door in, as well as these vents that you see here. My 3D printer also helped me make a stencil, and my 2D printer, regular paper printer, also helped me make some slaps that you see here by Zero Productivity, and Chris of Robots Will Kill also got some slaps on the fire hydrant. This is an illegal art edition fire hydrant, but you can get it with the standard red and chrome if you really want it. Well, let's get into my favorite little corner of the world, shall we? So, this video would not be a good video unless I talked about and showed off some action figures. And if you made it this far, thank you. Hit that like and subscribe button. I don't care if you turn on notifications. You watch it at your leisure. So, this shelf is pretty much Mezco and the Riders. We've got some pink skulls, their cousin Eddie, black skulls, Holiday Gomez. You guys know the deal and their names. Let's just show them off quickly. A little story about this. Fox Toy Box helped me create the original / updated version of Vapor. So we got OG Vapor, Burner Vapor, and Blue Vapor. This is actually a mouse pad with a beautiful photo created by Skydrow Walker. I hung it up. I like it. He didn't have prints yet. This is just an empty shelf where I put my Switch docks right there, and I get to play it on the iMac. These are the Riding Riders and Goku. Quick's bike is here, but he is on the shelf right now. The play shelf. These beautiful signs are made by D. Blake Makes. That spot right there is for Galactus when he comes in. Got our Spider-Verse coming up next with the symbiotes and some randoms. My Grail. I wanted this comic for a long time, and I finally got it. Next up, I'm always messing around with my figures. Messing around with poses, stuff like that. Just playing with them, having a good time. They don't need the attention, but I give it to them anyway. And this is a little conversation that they have every day. That's it. That's the tour of how I manage diorama and diorama accessory creating and action figure photography. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I put a lot of thought and effort into it so you guys can see what I do, when I do, how I do, what I do, you know, who, what, where, how, when, all that stuff. So if you can, check out 30 and Go. There was a Toy Migos takeover, so if you're familiar with that, a lot of members from Toy Migos were there, work more or less. Mr. Steve from Hasbro, Matt Chutoy, D. Blake Makes, the list goes on and on. So season 2 is on YouTube and season 1 is on Instagram. So feel free to go and check that out. And I hope you like what I've done here today as well as what I'll be doing going forward. So thank you guys so much for checking it out. And hey Alexa, shut off the Go Zone.